Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are going to talk about 3 little short stories here. The first one is from the Hyperspace short story called Precipice. I'd totally forgotten what this one was about. It's more of Obi-Wan and Dooku. It's that Obi-Wan Dooku scene that happens in episode 2, and it's just regurgitated with more thoughts from Obi-Wan. It's like someone read the book from R.S. Salvatore and goes, no, there should be a little bit more there. I can't remember, the guy's name is Mike something, I think he wrote it. But anyway, rereading it again, I was interested. I was like, oh, because it mentions some of his adventures from Jedi Apprentice. You know, he's thinking back on all his most miserable moments and whatnot. And but in the end, it doesn't really give any depth to that scene that Salvatore didn't already give. And so it was kind of disappointing in a way. I mean, for a Hyperspace short, for something that happens in episode 2, you know, you'd think they'd have thought about it before just writing the scene, but it's just like someone said, oh no, I want to write a little bit more, even though he includes all the dialogue from episode 2. And I think the story is like 3 pages long, so if he took out all the dialogue, maybe he had 1 or 3/4 of a page of dialogue to put in there, to add in there of what Obi-Wan was thinking at the time. Not really worth it. Now the other 2 are from the Toys R Us exclusives. They had those, if you bought a toy with them, you got a Dark Horse comic book. That was a great idea. And these aren't that good, but you got Machines of War and Most Precious Weapon. I'll go with Most Precious Weapon first. That's the one where I think Dooku is reminiscing back when he was a young Jedi and Yoda was telling him the importance of a lightsaber match. And then he's Dooku's thoughts while he's taking on Obi-Wan and Anakin. You know how Obi-Wan was supposed to be the best, but he makes so many mistakes, that's how he could beat him easily. Anakin shows promise, very surprising young lad, but makes mistake. He let his anger take control of him, and he made a mistake, and I chopped off his arm. So let me go to Lord Sidious and tell him what an impression this young Skywalker boy made on me. And he goes, hey, now it's time to play with your Dooku action figure. I don't mind that. The other one is Machines of War. This one is probably the most entertaining of them all because it's about Yoda bringing in the cavalry at the end of Attack of the Clones, and the clone trooper saying, hey, here's all that we can do. So here's what your toy can do. If you got the Republic cruiser or whatever it was, the fighter, we can use our grappling hook. We can use our forward missiles. We can use our laser, but whatever. He's just giving a report to Yoda about selling this toy to kids. And so Yoda's like, okay, take us down, good job, Commander, or whatnot. And, but this vehicle of destruction, not really good it is, or whatever. Yoda gives you a warning. But now it's time for you to continue the adventures of your toy. Now, again, I don't mind that Toys R Us did these comic books. They're not, really worth tracking down. I think some of them are in some of the omnibus copies, too. And I think you can find them easily online. I don't know if they're expensive. I hope they're not expensive because they're not that very good stories. But they're there just to sell toys and for kids to get excited about the new toy they have. Okay, I don't care. But isn't it weird that this is basically all we have from Attack of the Clones? Phantom Menace had so many tie-in books, children's stories, short stories that happened during, in the middle of, and of episode 1. But yet episode 2, I mean, the first Boba Fett novel is going to mention the events of it for a little while, but it's not going to add that much to the movie. And so basically what you have is these 3 short stories, 2 of them, one of them being a cheap little Hyperspace short that does really nothing. And then you got these 2 Hasbro comic books. Isn't that kind of weird? That's the only thing, besides the first Boba Fett book, which takes place mostly in episode 2. That's all we have for the extra adventures, expanded universe of stuff that happens around that movie. As much as we got with all the other movies, it is probably, well, I haven't looked at 3 again, but 2 doesn't have much at all. And I just found that weird, and what they have is no good, really. None of it's good. None of it's decent or halfway interesting. I mean, yeah, I grade on a slide scale too, so it's not like it's terrible, but yeah, a lot of these stories like Precipice and the weapon, the Dooku comic book, not really worth it. Like I said, Machines of War was fun just because it's telling all the features of your toy. I get it, but it was fun. The other one's just kind of garbage, but it's kind of sad. Episode 2, no one could think of something. No one was inspired when they saw the movie and said, let me talk about Elan Sleazebago some more. Okay, maybe I just proved my point. All right, folks, see you next time.